Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. So today I'm at my brother Tony and sister-in-law Becky's house again, and I want to finish this sort of little border for them, and it's sort of an overcast day. It's actually quite chilly, about 8-9 degrees Celsius right now, but we are expecting a lot of rain, and the temperature is actually consistently around 12 degrees or so, which makes it perfect for transplanting plants, and also perfect temperature and condition for root growth, because like I said, in the next 5 days we're expecting a lot of rain and a lot of rain. So this is just going to be perfect, because that means I would just have to transplant, divide, and don't have to worry about watering them for the next 5 days, and how hopefully with that perfect temperature and the amount of raw water that they're going to get, they're going to root in anytime soon. And I will also be pruning these Annabelle hydrangeas down, and these again, they bloom on new wood, so I'm probably gonna prune them down to about 18 inches or so, and then let them flush out new growth this year, because I'm not sure if my brother and his wife are aware of how to prune these. So anyway, I'm gonna do that for them. And then I also have a Happy Returns Day lily, which I think I will divide and dot them around this border for them. So anyhow, I am going to get started and go through all of that with you. So let me just quickly recap. Basically what I did here was I divided the Patriot hosta into 4 pieces and I planted them into like a drift here. And then I had some other old varieties of hostas I planted in the back here. Now, I don't know what the varieties are, so I just planted in the back. But anyway, when they come up, I'll be able to remember what they are and move them around in the fall. And then around this apple blossom tree, I had also divided the hostas. These are the green varieties. Into 6 pieces, and I dotted them around this tree. And then I had the astilbe, which is I think the pink fusion variety. I divided them up into 4 pieces and I planted them here. The boxwood, I did that the other day, right? And then I went ahead and I pruned back the Annabelle hydrangeas. So I do what I normally do with the other hydrangeas. Now, just to kind of recap, these are what we call arborescent or the smooth type of hydrangeas. And this is an old variety called Annabelle. Now, for those of you that know about smooth hydrangeas, they do bloom on new wood. So technically, if you want, you can prune them all the way back and they will still come up and bloom for you because they bloom on new wood, the new wood, which is the fresh new growth that comes from the current season. Now, however, with Annabelles, for those of you that know, the Annabelles, the stems are very weak, and the I keep on saying panicles, and the blooms are actually very large ball-like white blooms that you see that come up for us around June, July. And so what I did here was I pruned away all the dead stems, and then whatever's left over, I pruned them back to about a half, leaving behind 18 to about 24 inches of old wood. And I like that woody stem here because it holds the stem up. It keeps the stem stronger so that the blooms don't flop, right? Now, the blooms will be a little bit smaller because you can see that there's side shoots coming out, and each one on those side shoots should be a new bloom, right? So therefore the blooms will be smaller, and when they're smaller, they're not going to be as floppy. And plus there's that woody base there to hold them up, right? Now, there are some that I had to cut back quite a bit because the stems were dead. So some of these will have very weak stems that will be floppy, but that's okay. And the other thing that I also did was I saved some of those stems. If you come over here, I'll show you. I saved some of the stems when I was pruning the hydrangeas, and this is how you can make more of these. Now, for those of you that know arborescens, they get rooted so easily. Now, this is a little bit late, but if I had done this earlier, it would probably gonna be easier for them to root. So all I did was I stick the stems down into the ground, and what you want to do is you want to find a shady spot. So this part here I know gets shaded almost all the time. The only little bit of sunlight it gets through the panels from the fence. And also it's the soil is constantly damp, so that would actually help these root in very easily. So you could easily root these and have them form roots by the end of the summer. So by fall, I mean, not all of these will root, and that's because, like I said, they're a little bit further along. But if you want, if I had pruned these earlier enough in the season before they start to leaf out like that, and I stick them down into the ground like that, they will root in no time. However, because some of the leaves have already leafed out, so therefore they will start to use their energy to sort of feed the leaf instead of sending out more roots. So that might be a problem, but I'm pretty sure some of these will root. So by fall, hopefully I'll be able to have some examples to show you. And you can do the same thing here by putting them in a potting mix of soil, and then place the pot in a shady area. But you know what, this is the easiest, right? Because this spot is shady, it gets water from the rain, and it's quite protected. So hopefully the conditions perfect for the roots to grow, and I can show you that later on in the fall. So let me just quickly recap what we did today. Now I put the mulch all over and I think it makes it look really complete and finished. And that's what mulch does. It makes it look so nice and complete. So let me just quickly walk over here and show you what we did today. Now it is raining, so I better make this quick because the next 4 days in the forecast is also calling for rain as well. So what I did here was I took the endless summer hydrangea. So I split it up into 3 pieces. I've got the other piece on the other side, but I planted one here and one here. And then this one was in the back there that I moved to the front. And then I found another hydrangea somewhere in the bed. I think it was back there somewhere. And I moved that to the front as well. Now these two, I will keep an old, sort of a closer eye on them because I think they're not going to get any they're not going to get enough sun, right? But however, these two, I think they might be okay. But again, we're going to monitor them and see how much sun they get and how they're going to do for the rest of the season. And then we can decide where we're going to move. Now we've got this hydrangea here. This is paniculata hydrangeas. Now I think this is the strawberry vanilla, but I'm not quite sure. So that was in the back and we moved it to the front. And there was another one that we moved to the another location, which we'll show you as well. And in the original location where the 2 paniculata hydrangeas were, I found 2 stems of the Annabelle and I put them in that spot. So hopefully they'll be able to thrive in that area. Now let's come over here. So I think there was a brunnera in the back there that I transplanted and divided into 4. And then I took the hosta there, divided into half. I took the other half, I planted in the spot where the brunnera was. So this hydrangea here, it came from the one hydrangea that I took from the back here and I divided it up into 3 pieces and I planted them here into a hedge like that. And then the brunnera that was in the back garden over here, I divided them up into 4 pieces and I planted them into a drift like that. And I think that looks gonna look gorgeous, beautiful. Now on this side, the only thing that I did was I transplanted the boxwood over here. And now initially I was going to put it back here, but I think the maple might have made it really shady. And I don't think that's going to be good for the boxwood. So I moved that boxwood over here. And then over here, it's a little piece of the hydrangea that I divided earlier that you saw. And there was a little piece that has some roots. So I planted that over here. And I think that's going to be a nice addition to this little area here. And I don't think I did any planting over here, but eventually I think we're going to come in with some kind of annual or some kind of perennial that will produce more flowering in this section over here, because after the tulips have been are done with their blooming, I don't think there's anything here that's going to bloom. So we'll figure out what we're going to do over here. Now right over here, that boxwood that was in this corner here, I transplanted into the other part of the garden that you just saw. And then remember that hydrangea here that was on the other side of the garden, I transplanted that over here. Now we ran out of mulch, so we didn't get enough, so we will mulch this area up. But I think another good reason to wait is that we're going to come in and plant something else here at the front border here, which we haven't decided yet, but I think we're going to decide, and after that we will then be mulching this area up. Now I did remove the hydrangea that was here and I transplanted it. Now we're going to show you that over here. We'll come over here. So remember that hydrangea here? So I did cut them way back because a lot of the branches were dead. So I had to cut them all the way back. And when I saw a little bit of green, I left them. I divided them up and planted them here. So hopefully they will be okay. And that one hydrangea that was there, I actually transplanted that one here. So that's over here now. Now, if you look at this border now, you're going to be thinking, that looks a little bit different, right? Well, that's actually quite true. Initially, the border of the garden was behind this apple tree here. But we did finally decided to move the border of the garden to the front of the apple tree because I think it looks a lot better this way, right? And this is the thing about designing a garden. Sometimes you just have to live with it and decide, you know, you like it, you don't like it, and you can always change it, right? So I did replant the Happy Day lilies to the front border here. I think that looks looking a lot better. And then the 2 hydrangeas that you saw there, that's one here and one here, that's still in the same location. And then let's come over here. I did transplant one of the boxwood into the corner here. So I think that looks more finished and looks more uniform with the other side of the garden. Now I did find a hosta with that yellow variegation that I really love. I don't know what the variety is, but I did divide that one hosta up into 3 pieces, and I planted them here. And that's the hot boxwood that you already saw. And then there's the brunnera here that I just kind of shifted them up to the front so they look more sort of closer to the paver stones. And then I did also retransplanted this hydrangea, moved them a little bit further up because I think they're being shaded by this apple tree, right? But anyhow, you know, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on these and we'll see if they get enough sun. If they don't, we might have to be transplanting and moving them around in the fall. Now that one endless macrophylla, endless summer hydrangea, I did move that little piece here. There was a little bit of root. I thought they would be okay here. And there was a little hosta that I divided up. So I put one here, and then there was another piece that I also placed over here. So anyhow, we didn't have enough mulch, so we didn't finish that area. But I think once we finish planting this whole sort of border here, we'll mulch this whole area up, and then hopefully we'll be able to give you an update then. So anyhow, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you know, you enjoy watching a little bit of me, of us, you know, doing this makeover of Tony and Becky's garden. So again, I want to thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye bye now.